Okay, Ami fans, hope you're having a good night. Welcome to the Dirty Old Podcast. And I mean, you had me and Gav last week, and we've got Rousey. Welcome back, Rousey.
Yeah, sorry, mate. It was my bad planning that. It's you. You keep changing the days of the podcast nights. It froze me.
Oh, it's easy to blame the tools, isn't it, mate? But it's good to have you back, Rousey. I did have I had one or two other people kind of lined up, but didn't come back to me, so that was unfortunate. I have got somebody lined up for next week. So
Neil
hopefully
Wood.
we'll build on that. Neil Wood, yeah. From the job centre. No, I mean, I'm only kidding, Neil Wood. I'm only kidding.
Good win on Tuesday, Neil. Good win on Tuesday. No, via penalties.
We actually got through to another round of the cup.
I know, yeah, I know.
We'll come on to Rochdale, obviously, but we need to discuss. We have to because it's a podcast. The 1-0 defeat at home to Bradford. I think I said last week when we was on that obviously Andy Cook was obviously their leading goal scorer and he scored. Positives. No, sorry, we'll move on to the negatives. No, positives. Once again, we dominated possession, 63 to their 37%. Is
that a positive?
Well, not when you don't win the game, but I'm just trying to find a positive.
With their 37%, they had 10 shots.
Yeah.
If we had less percentage, maybe we would have more shots.
Absolutely. It's just more of a positive figure. I didn't say it was like a positive outcome from it. But...
You know, Martin,
yeah,
now he loves the positive spin.
Well, no, not entirely.
What's that? Just put your head to that side a little bit. You look like Neil Wood then. Sorry.
Wow.
Well, what we're going to do...
Hey, anyway, who's that handsome bastard you've got behind you there?
You recognise him, man?
Just a bit.
Is he
Go on, Martin, sorry. I cut you off then.
It's almost like, when we've done Who Am I? It's almost like a pixelated photo of who's our new signing.
Yeah,
now guess who it is.
All the gear, no idea. That's what it looks like.
You see how we're trying to sort of deflect talking from Bradford?
Yeah.
Straight away, we've gone away from Bradford.
I don't want to talk about the Bradford game.
Why do we talk about the past all the time?
It's good to talk about the past because then the future can only get better, can't it? So,
well, it didn't after last time we talked about it. It got worse.
Well, this is this week now. Stop bringing up the past.
So, Anthony, are we about to get a better pixelated picture of you next week?
Give you one, yeah. You can have
it. Gav, do you want to set us off, or because obviously we kind of spoke beforehand, but you wanted an opinion from me and Rousey first, did you not? Or because I've got quite a bit to say on it, but I'm the host.
No, go on. You're the host. I'll go for it. And Anthony had a few sherbets where I was on tea.
Gin and
tea. Everything I remember, there was no positives anyway.
So we talked about Bradford City versus Salford last week. 1-0 we got beat.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought what was excellent was Bradford. I thought they came out of the starting box really quick. They pressured us. They were surrounding us in groups. They were hunting in packs. Is it what they call? So yeah, Bradford were excellent. They put a lot of effort and energy into it, and then they did spend a lot of time recuperating that energy, and that's probably why we had a lot of possession. Because they couldn't keep going. How they started, they couldn't keep doing that all the match. They were on top of us. They were excellent. I thought Bradford. If you think of the Tranmere match, where Tranmere was a really, really good League Two sort of win for them, a performance. Bradford, I think, were better. So
didn't you say Tranmere booted us off the park?
Yeah. So Tranmere booted us off the park, but Bradford didn't. I thought they were a better footballing team.
Yeah.
They won purely because I think they were better. Like you said, they had 37%, 10 shots, and 4 of them were on target. They only had 2 corners. The fouls were about the same. They did 11, we did 10. We had 1 shot on target, which was... But yeah, no, it was fit. Everyone I've spoke to, and even after the game, it was like, there's not many good words to say about the match. So I'm about to sort of flip some positives.
There's no.
I've got
there's
some
no
positives.
flips. Have you got some?
Yeah.
What? Record-breaking attendance? Is that a positive?
No, because it makes the other teams laugh. Bradford started laughing when they mentioned that. We have nearly 4,000. They get 16,000. It's like, oh, record. Right. So we start at the back. I thought Tom King's awareness of danger is excellent. Absolutely excellent. When the ball comes back to him, he boots out a player. Danger resolved. We can then start get behind the ball. Get our back four, midfield four, whatever it is. Brilliant. Every time on Saturday, boot out the player, into safety, even kick it a bit further, waste a bit of time. We're safe. They're not about to score if he boots out the player. Well done, Tom King. But that was an excellent bit of work. Galbraith as well. Excellent bit of business by Neil Wood. Keep him on the pitch. Keep playing him, because when Man United release him next year because he's not good enough, we can say we've got an ex-Man United player. He's not good enough for League Two, but we can say we've got one. Hey, another positive.
Tactical genius he is.
All right. I'll stop messing about now. The positive from a match for me was, I think, Owen Bailey. He's slowly he's adapting to life in Salford. I think as each game goes, obviously he did have a outstanding game. He wasn't world class, but you can see he's growing into the squad. He's growing into the starting 11 a little bit. So that was a positive for me. Another negative, Bolton, when he keeps going backwards, is ineffective. He might as well not be on the pitch. He had a contract offer from Bradford, did it in the summer, and he chose us. 22-year-old lad, young talent. I think the day was too much for him. I think he was atrocious. Still shouting his orders, still jeering people on, but I think he had a poor game. Put that down to him. Like you say, it was He was with Bradford last season, and the day got too much for him. I think he probably wanted to try too hard. Maybe, I'm not sure. Watson had a poor game. Again, he's allowed to, because he has so many good games. So Watson and Watt, we can forgive them, I think. When we're struggling, when we need a goal, when we need to change things, we put two substitutes on in the 81st and the 83rd minute. Can we not do that a little bit earlier?
Yeah.
One was Simons, who I think is a waste of time. National League, here he comes. And the other one was Smith. And we don't play to Smith's strengths. So I'm not about to say Smith is useless, he's not good enough. We just don't play to his strengths. We got Jenkins on the bench. Why can't we throw him on? We have Lund on the bench. He's about to score more. He will score more goals than Henry if he was starting. That game, it was just beaten by the better team. And when you turn up and you think you've got a chance, we're about to get promoted. And then when these better teams come, it's like, it's easy. It looked easy for them. So, throw that piece of paper.
That's what you think of that?
Yeah, what I think of that. Actually, I got some other things on back of it, so best not throw it away. Got my shopping list. So like I said, there was some positives. Like I said, safety first. Maybe another positive. Not putting subs on early. Like Bradford used 4 subs, we used 2, and we were chasing the game. If we don't put subs on early and we save London and Jenkins on the bench, what have there, then the teams will play next week after will be surprised when we do use them. So don't worry about Luke not having 3 points against Bradford. They're in our back pocket. We'll surprise the team sometime. We'll put 4 subs on and we'll do it in the 60th minute.
But do you know what?
I'm just mourning, aren't I?
I was just going to say, where'd you go from there, Martin, with that?
Well, I mean, I can always add a little bit of water to a sinking ship. I mean, the first half reminded me of beginning of last season under Bowyer, up until obviously from January, things got a little bit better, but the kind of head in hands watching a game of football, and there was no feelings of emotion from me as a fan. It was just, you kind of got used to watching boring football. The first half was was completely dire. It was probably I don't know. From my watching football, I don't go to the away games, so truly basing it on the home games. And we've had a couple of shocking results at home. It was right up there as one of the worst performances this season at home. I think, though, if I can spin it a little bit, I think we probably started. I'm not saying we started really well in second half, but we probably, maybe Neil Wood didn't agree, see it different to me, but I actually thought we played a little bit better than the first half, a little bit brighter. Didn't create anything, of course, but it kind of, as the game went on, I think at halftime Neil Wood said to the players, "Right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to put it right." They've had a bit of a talking, whatever it may be. Get out there and change the game. Start the whistle, start a little bit brighter. When you get to the 60th minute, usually that's kind of like the nod for substitutions come on at 60th minute. By that point, I think Neil was going, it's still a little bit better than the first half. We'll keep it as it is for now. And then gets to the 80th minute, the realisation of we're not going to score if we played another 270 minutes or whatever it may be. And I think he went, right, let's put some subs on. And to your point, Gav, the substitutions were too little too late. I think Smith should have come. I think Smith should have personally have come on at halftime or by 60th minute. And why that is because the way that we want to try and play, again, like it did against Tranmere, didn't work against Bradford, nor did it work against Tranmere. And not that I want to see kind of that Route 1 football, but in the 8 minutes or 7 or 8 minutes that Smith was on, every single ball that did get pumped up to him, he was flicking them on and he was winning the ball. And I just think for 30 minutes, really put their back four, back five under pressure by of course it's lump ball a little bit, but you're trying to get something out of the game. How you're playing isn't working. So if it means going a little bit long ball, so be it. And he was winning the flick-ons. Now, if you bring in Samoa's on, who's got a bit of pace, or Torre down the wing, or Luke Bolton down there as well, and if you keep Hendry on, if you can flick him onto Hendry, whatever it may be, we might have put him under a little bit of pressure, got into the box, might give away a penalty or something. You get a point however you can. And I just think, like you say, Gav, that the substitution was too late, and we've seen it a few times this season where it needs to change, and it's kind of, we don't make change to the 80th minute. But another point I wanted to make, and what I noticed when we did get it forward, we was getting into the final third, but when we got the ball out wide, we had one player in the box. That was Hendry, but there was occasions where Hendry was outside the box because obviously he goes out to the wings, he comes deep. There's no point in crossing the ball, to one person when he's up against two centre halves. So, we're at home. The midfield, if you're playing down the right hand side, your left wing back needs to be coming at the back post. Your midfielders need to be pushing up on the edge of the box. You need to be getting people in the box to score. We're at home, and I'm seeing that quite like a frequent highlight is one person in the box every time we try and attack and hope that Hendry can get on it, or maybe we just don't want to cross the balls and we're trying to. I don't know what it is, but it's disappointing. But equally, like you said, Gav, Bradford were maybe on the day, maybe overall better team. I hope it's on the day the better. I think we can show we play better, but we knew at the beginning of the season Bradford made some good signings. Mark Hughes there as well, bit of experience. And Bradford was always going to be a team to beat this season. I know they had a bit of a rocky start, but they're sort of coming to fruition a little bit now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're finding the way. There's a lot of points there, a lot to take in. But for me, I just think the results and the performances of ever so slightly week in, week out are gradually getting worse. I think even the games that we've won when we picked up points, I just think the performances from those first 6 games that we spoke about where we were enjoying the football and the pace of the ball being played, and you could see some of the tactics and the way Neil Wood was trying to play football. For me, that's changed. I think you hit the nail on the head there, where it was very Gary Bowyer that first half against Bradford on Saturday, and yeah, maybe a slight excuse of Watt and Watson, because they have probably been two of our better players. But yeah, I just think, I don't know. There's been a few games now where Leek, I don't think, is good enough. Torre gradually getting worse in this league, unfortunately, and I love him a bit. So I think he's been great for us over the years, but I just think he keeps getting found out. His passing's off. He keeps getting intercepted. He gets caught out of position quite a bit, and I just think that teams are sussing us out, or have sussed us out, and we've got no response. It's frustrating, and again, we talk about possession and having a lot of the ball, but we're just not doing anything with it. It's going sideways, backwards. We get, like you said, into the final third and there's one player in the box. It's not good enough. And when you're at home against one of your promotion rivals and you're only having one shot on target, you deserve everything you get. That was probably the worst I've seen this season on Saturday. And like I said, yeah, it was dire in the first half, a little bit better in the second half, but I just think Bradford let the game go through the motions. They probably let us have it a little bit more. Didn't press us like they did in the first half, and didn't do what they were doing in the first half to, obviously what got them the goal. An argument, there was an element of offside in their strike, and Hendry, it was Hendry at the bar, weren't it? I think unlucky, on his day that could have nestled in the top corner, but on the whole, we got what we deserved out of that game, and that's been coming. Because the results, I think, and the performances have been a bit off. Last few games, I'd probably say the last 4 or 5, maybe. Might even be longer, but like I said, there's been a few players now that I think are getting found out.
Going to, I think, 2 of your points there. So if I can remember them both, Martin, I think you pointed out that we seem to be having one in the box, and I noticed it as well. So having one in the box. Why are we having one in the box? Well, maybe that's our tactics. So if you got one that far up front, what do you need to do? You need to get the ball quick to him. You need to break. So as we're passing it sideways, they're getting back into shape, and they've got their 4 against our 1.
Yeah.
And if we're only having one that far up front, we need to be breaking. He needs to be 1-on-1.
Yeah. 1-on-2
maybe, but 1-on-1 definitely. But by the time we've got the ball in a position to cross it or to pass it to Emre, the defence and midfield's back. They're taking shape. Yeah. So go to Anthony's comment where I think you said our first 6 games were good, then went poor. And I'm sorry, but I'm about to pick on my friend again. Galbraith came at the end of August, and since he started getting in the team, just because he's from Man United and just because he's Neil Wood's man, we started going sideways. We're not putting the ball forward as quickly. And Bolton's not getting forward as quickly because they're set. So there's actually no room for him.
Yeah. I actually, I like Callum Hendry. I do. Don't get me wrong. He has a lot of chances, and unfortunately, they're just not going in for him. But I think he's very, very skillful. He's quick thinking. He makes a lot of runs that our lads don't even pick up on. He gets into the channels. He's running into the areas where he wants the ball. He'll take 3 or 4 players out of the game and lay the ball off, and then I nearly swore then, we'll pass it backwards. And he's done all the hard work and got us into an attacking position. And I just think, like I said, the lads struggle to read him. I do think that he's a level above us, if that makes sense. That the team,
we haven't got the players.
But, no, again, you've got Neil Wood, who's come from Man United. He's used to he's used to coaching under 23s, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old lads who have got very, very good technical abilities. League Two, we've got probably more personalities, more rough and ready. A lot of these guys have been kicked out by people like Neil Wood from the top clubs and whatsoever. And he brings Galbraith in, and he's playing around Galbraith. And it's his tactic to me is we're slowing it down, we're passing it sideways, we're doing this.
Until
he coaches the team and says, get that ball forward to Hendry,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I wouldn't necessarily blame Galbraith for that, because that might be a
It's like what
tactic.
he's coached.
Galbraith's
playing as. I think Neil Wood would say to you, if you said to Neil Wood, who's listening to you in my training and who does exactly what you want, I think he would say Galbraith. So I think Galbraith's actually doing what the boss wants. That's why I sort of like, I don't want to sort of like keep picking him out. But he is just doing what the manager wants.
He had a bad game on Saturday. Whatever the tactic was didn't work either. Either he had a poor game and wasn't doing what.
But when he has the ball, he passes it sideways.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah, there was no cutting edge. There was nothing to our play on Saturday. That, like I said, you're playing at home against one of your promotion rivals, and to only have one shot, you get everything you deserve, and that's the top and bottom of it. There probably is no review really to have. The lads didn't play well, not enough shots, a lot of the ball, but did nothing with it, unfortunately.
I mean, there's 3 players that I mentioned. I just want to very quickly just have a little say on the 3, because I think both of you have had a kind of a slight opinion on them as well. But Odin Bailey, yeah, correct, Gav. To be fair, I thought he was our best player on the park in that game. I think when he first came, he looked like a bit of pace. He's got something about him. I think he is growing in. I think he's buying into the team the way that we want to play. I thought he was the only person who actually wanted to get on the ball and drive forward and run at defenders. And that, when you've got a wide player, that is what we need to be doing. Running. I'd sooner rather you run at a defender, a 1v1, trying to beat them. All right, and if you get tackled because it's a great tackle, so be it. You've got to keep trying rather than going, oh no, I'm too scared to take him on a pass back. So yeah, I hope Bailey starts on Saturday. I think he deserves to start again. He's the one person. Let's say Watson. Yeah, you're going to start with them because everyone's entitled to have the odd off game. Gav, you made a point last week about Hendry being our best player, but not so much the best number 9 we've ever had. And I think just what highlighted in the Bradford game, where he's not getting service, but he's making intelligent runs that we're not picking up on as the rest of the team, is that shows to me that he's getting frustrated because we're not really getting the ball in the box from wide areas maybe. And I think he's then thinking, yeah, he's in the box, but we're not going to cross to one person. If he's in there, which he's doing his job, and he is, we're not going to cross to him unless we've got 3 or 4. And if we get 3 or 4 in there, the ball's going to come in for him to attack. And that's why I think he's trying to come deep to try and just get on the ball, get involved, do something. He's getting frustrated. He's there to score goals, and all he's thinking is, give me the ball. I'll try my best to score. I can try and do my job. He has had chances, but I think there's an element of frustration that kind of play his confidence a little bit. And then just on Galbraith, I think when I was reading on the Doncaster forums and things like that, and looking at the type of player that he is, I had this vision of Galbraith possibly playing centre mid or maybe slightly higher and being creative, which means passing forward. He's got the ability because he's come through a United Academy process, which you presume is a very, very good academy. And the way that United play, it's not sideways or backwards. It's kind of get the ball forward, attack it nice and quick. And you think that would be his philosophy. Now, I don't know whether it's Neil Wood telling him to just play the easy passes, just keep pulling defenders out, and if ball comes in, just pop it off to somebody else, sideways, backwards, just keep it moving. I don't know. I don't know the answer is, and we'll probably never know because Neil Wood's not going to tell us, and Ethan Galbraith ain't going to tell us. But I'd expect he's looking like something that I could probably do in the centre midfield. I could have my back turned to the opposing goal and leak pass it into me, and I can give him back as a 1-2. I think anybody could do that. So I would just like, hopefully, maybe it's him making those decisions. I hope Galbraith is brave enough to play on the half turn and play forward.
Just like to see it a bit more, and I think he's good enough. Don't get me wrong, I do. Like I said, you can't come from where he's come from and be a bad player. And obviously Neil Wood must rate him. But like I said, on Saturday there was a number of players you could dig out, and I feel like like I said, I like Torre, but I just think he's gradually got worse as this season's gone on. But in his defence on Saturday, he was trying to get forward. It's just his passes weren't good enough. But I think a few times he cut a frustrating figure just doing this. Like, there's no movement, there's nobody up there wanting to make a penetrating run or get into a channel or anything like that. And when he did try it, like I said, I just think he kept getting found out because his passes were just getting intercepted. But yeah, there was a number of players that from that game on Saturday, you could have said that, that wasn't very good, mate. It was as simple as that.
It's the patterns of play. When I've watched them, the patterns of play seem to be exactly the same. It's the same setup tactically. The team's pretty much the same setup. And even if it's not, so he's brought in. Again, they're playing to a philosophy in a way, but, teams must be looking at us and going, well, I'll use Torre's example. That if you run him if you run him wide, he's going to cut back in and pass it sideways because he's got no right foot. So if you block off his left foot, he's going to come in the right side. And they'll be doing that with all our players. The patterns of play, right? When he gets it, what type of ball is he usually playing? And we're not having a variety of football that I think you need in League Two to get promoted. Guys, I'm out of breath on that one. So should we?
Yeah, it was a frustrating one. It needs sorting out anyway, but we move on.
It's like therapy. I feel good now. I can smile again.
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's go to something a little bit more light-hearted on Tuesday in the massive Papa John's EFL trophy. We played the Dale, Rochdale away on Tuesday. 2-2. Again, I think we made 5 or 6 first team changes. I don't know. People from Rochdale telling me it was their second string team. I don't know, and I don't care. I don't know, guys. So what's the fear? We won on penalties, so ticking the box.
Yeah, no, I think as well the game was a lot better. It was actually an enjoyable game to watch. I think Salford were unlucky not to, not to win it in the 90 minutes. It was a good little finish in injury time for their equaliser. But like I said, for me it was a better game of football to watch. I enjoyed it. Yeah, the changes I thought were good, the right changes. I just felt a bit more comfortable with it. Even when the equaliser went in, I felt, Chapman, like I said, I think we mentioned it pre-record. You kind of trust him from the penalty spot. You can see that he's got something about him. He does the old grobbler legs and stuff like that and puts the players off. But I actually felt the changes were good, and the players that played had good games. Again, I'm gonna dig Ryan Leake out. He was probably the only weak performance for me, and again, just doing similar things to what he was doing on Saturday. Stupid balls, kamikaze balls, crazy ones, just passing it and not really looking. But other than that, I can't from memory pick any bad or poor performances out. It was just a steady away draw, obviously, but the penalties were very good.
If St Maurs can score and look good, everyone must have been good. They must have been weak. Apart from that, like I say, don't get too excited that he scored and stuff. If he plays on Saturday, he's not good enough. I'm sorry. Let's leave him on the bench at training ground. The one thing which I'll bring out with that one is, which surprised me. So I think after 60 minutes, give or take, we made 4 substitutes, brought Watson and what have you. That sort of game, why isn't he leaving Jenkins on? Why isn't he getting a full 90 minutes to get used to playing with the lads? Why bring him off? And the Switzerland lad up from, I can't pronounce his name.
Talage,
yeah.
Why are we bringing him off? If we got these young lads who are supposed to be decent from decent academies, let's get them playing as many minutes we can to get them used to playing with the other lads on an actual match day. So why you brought them 2 off, I don't know. The other 2 was it Torre and
who come off?
Who come off?
Galbraith,
Torre, Galbraith, Jenkins.
Yeah, so Torre and Galbraith, that's fine. They played on Saturday anyway. Just give them 60 minutes. But the other 2, Jenkins and to large, you never played. Give him the full 90 minutes. So that, although we're talking about a draw, then a win on penalties, that was the frustrating point for me. Them lads need the minutes. We were getting beat, yes, I get it, but still, just let him play.
Yeah, I think. I suppose it's a tricky one, Gav, because if he doesn't make changes in areas that he's a manager and he's entitled to say what he thinks needs improving. I didn't watch the game. I don't know how Tollards played. I don't know how Jenkins played. I think you're right. They do need the minutes. But then it sounds like, I mean, who came on? So what came for Jenkins, bottom for Tollards? It's kind of, apart from the Bolton one, but it's fairly like for like.
It was like for like, but what I would say with the changes is probably in Neil Wood's head and his defence, he's bringing on his first team players to try and win it before the 90. He might have even had penalties in mind, bring some of the better players on in his head to see the game out. And if that was the tactic, then it worked. I think that's the only thing I can probably think. I don't disagree with you, Gav. I don't think the lads were playing bad that come off. But I think in his head, he might have penalties in, and these are the better penalty takers. You know what I mean? If
I agree with what you were saying about what you just said about in his head, he was probably saying, "Yeah, we need to get these lads on." But on Saturday, when you can only bring two subs on, or you only brought two subs on after 80 minutes, the two which were left on the bench who could have come on, they played 60 minutes. Let them get the minutes, because obviously you must have trusted them on Saturday.
No.
So let. Whether we got beat or won that game, end of the day, it's a trophy we won, and fantastic. But we need to make sure that our lads are ready to come on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And obviously they weren't ready last Saturday. They only brought two on at 81 minutes and 83 minutes. So if they're not ready, give them the time, give them the minutes. That's the only thing which frustrated me. And I like finding things which frustrate me. It's an hobby of mine.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The thing is, the trophy. Let's be honest, not to completely do it a disservice, but it serves a purpose more for the under 23 teams, realistically, to play more senior football. But it is an opportunity. It is a gateway to the Wembley, and that's the positive from our perspective as a League Two team. As fans go, of course, you want to win every game. You want to see your team play. But realistically, you're not getting excited unless you get to Wembley. Let's be honest. That's the whole point, is to get a trip to Wembley. However, we said about Hendry at against Bradford, and we spoke about Hendry in the previous podcast as well. He assisted the goal for Samoas, and obviously gets on the score sheet himself. So look, he's got that in him. Hopefully, once again, fingers crossed that this is going to move into Saturday's game, because we're certainly going to need. We need a goal. We need a goal. As simple as that. We need to see some goals at home.
I think there will be goals on Saturday as well.
Plenty of goals.
Yeah, I think both teams will go for it. I really do.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not on Saturday yet.
Me and Gav was on here last week, and we was really excited about the Bradford game. And if only we could foresee 24 hours later. But we finished the group top with Accrington. They beat Liverpool, so it's us and Accrington that go out from the group. Rochdale and Liverpool in the 21s. Liverpool in the 21s. Again, we talk about the benefit of these under 23 teams. Okay, it was Liverpool in the 21s. We didn't even get a point. So what's the point? Anyway, let's just move forward once again.
We're free. That's all that matters. On to Saturday.
The big games, what we want to talk about. So I suppose I'm just going to run off a little bit of stats here, and then I've got a question to ask. So currently we're 7th, 24 points, 3 points off third. We have got a game in hand on third, Northampton there on 27, and we've got a game in hand on Stevenage, who's top of the table on 32 points, and everybody else above us are on the same games. So from 7th to 3rd, it's a matter of winning a game difference to put you back into the top 3. Just run you through our history with Stockport isn't the greatest. We've played 6. We played 5. We've Drew 2, we've won 1, County's won 2. I was reading the wrong stat, that's where it was. But if there's any positivity, the last 6 games for Stockport County, they've only won 1 and lost 5. So they don't travel well. But then again, our home form.
If you flip that though, their last 3 and our last 3 were identical.
Oh, are they?
We've all lost 1 draw. We've lost 1 drawn, both of us.
So you're giving the stat to the stato. Well done, I like it, guys. Good lad. However,
do you want another stat?
Go on.
Our wins, draws, and loses are identically opposite as well. So they've won 3, drawn 3, lost 7. We've won 7, drawn 3, lost 3. So we're opposite.
Oh, look at this! You got some pelters. You've tried tonight, Gav.
My name's Anthony Rouse.
Gav Stelling.
Oh, sorry.
The only thing I would say is, yes, they've lost 5 out of the last 6, but they did the win came their last away game, and they beat Bradford.
They actually beat Bradford
1-0. So we can look at it and go, you must be a mug if you can't beat him, yeah. So yeah, obviously they've lost 5 on the road out of the last 6, but they have beat the team that's just beat us at home 1-0. So the question is, guys, I mean, it is the Bradford loss at home. Of course, we want to see a teams win at home, and it's not. Is it all doom and gloom? I mean, there's still a lot of the season to go. I mean,
it's not. But for me, I just want to see it. I want to see the change now. We've kind of had our stagnant period in my head. I don't need and want that to carry on. Like I mentioned earlier, it's been going on now for about 4 or 5 games. Even the games where we've nicked a win, like Harrogate, and it was the game after that at home where we got a late, was it a late winner? But they've been quite stale. The performances, like I said, we've not turned that corner yet, and hopefully Saturday would be a brilliant turning point. It's a derby. It'd get the fans back on side. Winning Tuesday was a good confidence booster. Hopefully that's given Neil Wood a bit of an headache with some of the performances. It's a good time to turn it around. Not that we've been dire, but we've just been a bit stale. That's probably my opinion on it. And yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I think, like I said, I think both teams will go for it. They're pretty good and pretty strong up top with Madden, and Sarcevic is attacking midfielder. So I think there's goals in it. But hopefully, I hope we play to our advantages. And like I said, and I think we're good enough to do. I'm looking at their results. They seem to have been a bit hit and miss. They seem to have struggled a little bit. But obviously, you're right. Yeah, they've just beat a team that's beat us. But I think we'll turn a corner on Saturday.
But I mean, just before I come to you, Gav, the 2 players you mentioned there in terms of Madden, obviously he's the out-and-out striker. 4 goals. Sarcevic is on 3, so they've got 7 goals between them. Gav, a quick question. We want to see a win on Saturday. We want to see and win 3 points, but is it a must?
Yes,
I'd agree. I would agree. I think it is a must. You don't want to get beat off Stockport on your own turf. It's not great that for anyone. It's like Everton beating Liverpool at Anfield or City beating United at Old Trafford. It's not great that. If they turn us over on Saturday, it could turn nasty for Neil Wood, because I think he'll lose a lot of fans. Personally,
was up the win then?
No, I just do. I just think he will. It's like I said. It's kind of coming to an end now, where the lads are getting frustrated in the stands. You know, we stand there, Gav, don't we? And it's not great hearing at the minute. You know, the way we're playing. So although it isn't a must win in terms of the league and us getting promotion, I think it's a must win for the team and for Neil Wood.
It was for the fans.
It was kind of the reason why I asked the question, because in my mind I'm thinking, look, our away form, we might not be playing the most attractive football regardless, but our own form is taking care of itself somewhat. The home form is where the majority of fans, it's where you're attracting new fans in there. This is the same situation season after season where we just don't seem to turn it on. We talk about getting the biggest crowd we've ever had in the League Two last week against Bradford, and it's you talk about, you see these videos from the club of going into these local shops and little hot places in Salford and trying to put Salford on the map and things. And it seems the club are doing it's really good what they're doing in terms of the community and stuff. I'm not knocking that in the slightest, but it's almost like there's a passion there for that. But when you come out on a 3 p.m. on a Saturday at home against Bradford, when you've got your record crowd there, if you can't get up for that, all right.
It was flat. Yeah, it was flat.
I know it's not 16,000.
Yeah, that's where, unfortunately, the club is where it is. There's a lot of day trippers that are just coming, but you need to win them over and get them coming to the next one and the next one and learning the chants and getting involved. And I would hope that, again, Saturday's another big crowd. And I hope that they give the performance to justify it. Let's have it right. Like I just said, it's a derby. If you're not up for that, fans as well, then there's something wrong. That we're in a bad place. So
yeah, I mean, the West Stand, the last couple of games now at home, like against Tranmere, against Bradford, it's been really busy. It's been about as busy it's been.
Yeah.
For probably the busiest it's been, and including last season as well. It's been. So I would say it looks like it was pre-COVID when we started building up a fan base, and it's really good to see. I sit in the North Stand. It's not, and to be fair, there's an element of the North Stand now that are starting to join in with the songs.
They're into
it's slowly building, but it is good to get that West Stand feel as well, especially when you look to the left in the North Stand and you've got the away end that's full when you play these teams. It's nice to look round and go, yeah, go on, boys, well done. We've filled our end as well. So I just think, to your point, Rousey, that's why I think it is essential we win on Saturday. We need to turn the home form round.
Yeah.
We can't just get into this vicious circle of spiral of draws and losses at home, because you can forget promotion if that's the case.
Yeah.
So I think it's imperative we get the win just to flip the coin and get back on track. Like I say, 3 points, and we could be, all results going our way, we could be third. Yeah. And it's not doom and gloom, but it needs to change sooner rather than later. Just another interesting stat for you, Gav. Even though County have not had the best of form, they have scored in their last 6 games. So I'm going to say I'm expecting Stockport County to score based on how we've played at home, but I hope we score 1 more than you.
Third.
So yeah, let's the disciplines might be important for me of our team, because if I remember right, Stockport seem to get players sent off left, right, and centre. So I'm guessing there's a little bit of nitty gritty, what have you. And if we get involved with it, and we go down to 10 men, not them, we could find ourselves with problems.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good chance that they might go down to 10 men, because this is a massive match for them as well. They're about to fight like hell. We won't fight like hell. We'll just pass it sideways. So as long as we keep our discipline, as long as we don't join in too much, we've got to give it. We've got to compete, but we don't want anyone sent off. And to be honest, what you were about to say, where you were just singing a song there, all week I've been thinking Stockport's about to go up 2-0 up on us.
Why'd you invite him on here?
Half time, 2-0, then we're about to win 3-2. 1 more than you.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been thinking all week. I've been thinking they're about to come out at us, they're about to score 2 goals, they're about to go, oh my God, me and Mousy will be in the bar by about 30 minutes gone. Second half, we'll come out about 5 minutes late and we'll go, let's come on. And then we'll have the second half of all second halves We'll bring it back to 2-2. Then a last-minute winner by Smith or Galbraith.
I'm hoping, was it when it was in the National League, was it Notts? Did he get the equaliser and win it last minute?
It was an equaliser, that one.
Was it? Yeah. That was close. That was awesome.
It was great.
The county fans were just giving it the big and weren't they giving it large, and Notts like.
So it's about to be a physical game. I think it's about to be a tough game. And I think they're about to go 2-0 up. I've just got that feeling.
This for me though, I'm going to reach out to Vassell on this one because he likes a little bit of a chew, doesn't he? And to your point, Gav, Stockport County have had 5 red cards in the league so far.
Yeah, I knew it was 2 or 3. I didn't realise 5.
Yeah, 5, and they've had. I think Sarcevic has got one. Madden got the red card. Palmer, which is another forward player. So it seems like the forward players are the ones that getting the red cards. Interestingly enough,
got one last week? Sorry,
Callum Camps. So that's a big player.
I thought it was Madden then, because I was going to say you might be banned then.
No. Yeah, so it was Callum Camps, but I think Callum Camps is a big player missing for them. So,
good.
But you talk about Vassell then. He's about to be dumped on the right anyway. We better have useless Eastham in the middle. So,
to be fair, I just want to beat Stockport County because Dave Challenger's the manager. So it's as simple as that, really.
Yeah. We're going to turn a corner on Saturday.
We've got to put more effort in than them, and we've got to come home with a win. We've got to have that win.
Okay, leading into that then, Gav, what's your prediction then?
4-4. I've already said 3-2.
3-2.
3-2 to counter. No. Rousey, what do you think, mate?
Yeah. Corner's going to be turned, like I said. I think 3-1 to Salford. I can't predict which way it's going to go and who's going to score first, but I've got 3-1 in my head.
I'm going. Do you know what? I should really go with the obvious choice and say we'll get beat, just going off form and the way we're playing. However, I ain't going to do that because, I can never say our team will lose. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. Clean sheet by Kingo. And then...
safety first.
Do you not think Chapman's give Neil Wood a bit of an headache? No.
Well, I think no. I think King will start. I think we'll go 2-0 up. In the 90th minute, Stockport County get a penalty. Neil will go. Chappers comes on, saves the penalty, clean sheet. Job's good. And then we can all be at home ready for Strictly Come Dancing. So all good then. It's going to be easy peasy on Saturday. Let's go into a very tough game next Tuesday. I'm only going to go in this quickly because obviously we do these podcasts on a Thursday. So midweek next Tuesday away at Hartlepool. 24th in the league. It's 3 points, isn't it? It's 3 points. Got to be.
Stockport and Hartlepool are both terrible football teams.
Well, we've always struggled at Hartlepool, haven't we?
Is that from obviously an FA Cup hoodoo?
I just remember. Did we not play them last game of the season one year and they absolutely tanked us? I know we
have lost.
Have you got the recent fixtures up against them? Can you get them up quick? Sure, we played them last game of the season a few years ago. They absolutely battered us.
And they don't move. We're pausing this bit.
They'll go on head to head. So let's have a look. Last game we played April, beat them 2-0. We beat them in 2001 2-0. Beat them in 2020 2-0.
Oh, right, yeah.
They've only, it says here, we've played them 7 times. We've won 4. They've won 2. We drew once. The last time they beat was in 2019 3-2.
Yeah.
But they've got obviously Shelts is in there, centre mid. Kyle Leatheran is there, but he seems to be a bench player.
He's goalkeeping coach, I think.
He is. He's
just with his keeper, ain't he? He's just back
I think he is. Yeah. I suppose a player that we probably need to keep an eye on is Josh Umara, which is their striker.
Is it number 9?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
has he been injured a bit recently, and he's just come back last 2 or 3 games?
I'm not sure. 1 second. Josh.
Josh. It's a
I don't know.
straightforward. Look, confidence is going to be high after the Stockport game. So yeah, you're right. We're going to go there and we're going to tank them and all.
Well, you've already told us the recent results, so the score's obvious.
2-0.
Bet me 0-0.
Yeah.
Could be another one of those games.
I'm going for 0-0. Tuesday night, North East, 0-0.
Yeah.
Are you really going for 0-0? Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Banker.
Banker that one.
Rousey, what do you think, mate? For
No, I am.
Hartlepool?
I think the 2-0 tradition's going to carry on, and we're going to win 2-0.
I'm going 3-0. I'm having it large.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
You're on it. Confidence
I mean,
is high.
Too cold for 3-0.
To be fair, though, I mean, it would be. I know it's away from home, but it would be extremely hard to take. Not doesn't matter in past results. Just looking at how they are this season, they're not playing well at all. I say not playing well. I've seen them a couple of times, and they've give a couple of teams a game, but just don't seem to be having that little bit of luck. So, but at the end of the day, they've found themselves at the bottom of the table, and I don't think we've got anything to worry about. So, anything to add? Any other business, guys?
Not from me. I think we've ranted ourselves out, haven't we?
I think Gav's up to no good because we can't see him, so I think he's lining up a picture here for the end.
Play it off quick before he comes back on.
Are you still there, Gav? Are you lurking in the background?
Got technical problems.
Uh,
End it without him. It'd be better. It'd be funnier. Can't see you then, can I?
Well, if Gav, if you are there, he's playing on the toilet like he was last week. I'll see you on the game on Saturday, chaps, and let's hope for a better game at least. And two big games coming up. 6 points would be extremely positive, and I think that will get fans back on board. So fingers crossed. Cheers, Rousey.
See you later, Coops.
Cheers, Gav.
See you, Gav.
He's on mute now.
Go on.
We're going. See you later.
See you later. Bye.